Some signs are loud, chest pain, emergencies, sudden collapse, but others are gentle, subtle. They whisper, not shout, and if we're not paying attention, we might miss them until it's too late. For many elderly people, the final year of life does not begin with a dramatic event. It begins with small changes, shifts in energy, a quiet retreat from the world. This video is not meant to scare you. It's here to help you see clearly, with compassion, not fear. Because when you recognize these signs early, you have time to respond with presence, with love, and with peace. Sign number one, a noticeable decline in appetite or weight, even without illness. It often begins so quietly you almost don't notice. A half-finished plate, a skipped meal here and there, a polite, "I'm not hungry" when offered their favorite food. And then the clothes start hanging looser. The cheeks grow hollow, the hands feel bonier. At first, it doesn't seem like much, but over time, this gentle loss of appetite and unexpected weight decline becomes one of the most consistent early signs that the body may be entering its final chapter. As the body ages, particularly in the last stage of life, its energy needs begin to change. The metabolism slows dramatically. The digestive system becomes less efficient. Taste buds dull. The sense of smell fades. Even chewing and swallowing may become tiring or uncomfortable. But beyond physical changes, there's something else happening. The body, in its quiet wisdom, begins to shut down non-essential functions to preserve energy for the most basic, life-sustaining needs. Eating, which once brought joy and nourishment, becomes more of a burden, not out of depression or refusal, but because the body no longer asks for it. This isn't a failure, it's nature. This sign may show up in small but important ways. Eating noticeably less, especially over weeks, leaving favorite dishes untouched, preferring soft, bland foods or liquids only. Avoiding meals altogether, saying, "I'll eat later," but never does. Significant weight loss without trying, looser skin, visible collarbones, or sudden frailty. You may also hear phrases like, "Food just doesn't taste right anymore. I'm fine with just toast. I eat when I feel like it. I don't want to waste anything. Let someone else have it." These aren't just passing moods. They are quiet signals, physical and emotional, that the person is letting go, little by little. What you can do with compassion, not pressure. 1. Focus on comfort, not calories. In this stage, it's more important to offer small amounts of food they enjoy than to push large meals. Warm soups, soft scrambled eggs, ice cream, yogurt, pudding. Favorite childhood treats. 2. Don't force or guilt. Saying, "You have to eat" may cause more distress than help. Instead, try, "Would you like just a bite? I made this just the way you used to like it." You don't have to finish it, just enjoy the smell. 3. Offer nourishment through presence. Sometimes what they need most is company, not food. Sit beside them, share tea, play soft music, offer comfort through shared silence. 4. Stay hydrated. Gently, small sips of warm water, herbal teas, or electrolyte drinks, spoons of fruit puree, popsicles, or ice chips. 5. Talk to their doctor or care team. It's important to rule out treatable causes, e.g., medication side effects, infections, mouth pain. But if nothing urgent is found, know this. Loss of appetite in the final stage of life is often natural, not something to fix, but something to support with love. Watching someone you love stop eating can feel heartbreaking. It may stir up fear, guilt, even desperation. But sometimes the most loving act is to let them eat less, with peace, to release the idea that food equals survival, and to honor that their body knows what it's doing, even if our heart struggles to accept it. They may be eating less, but they still need your presence. And in these quiet days, your love will nourish them more than any meal ever could. Sign number 2. Increased fatigue and sleeping, much more than usual. You may notice it slowly at first. They begin napping a little more during the day. They don't get up as early. They sleep through conversations, meals, or favorite shows. And then one day you realize they're spending more time asleep than awake. While occasional fatigue is normal in aging, this kind of deep, prolonged tiredness where sleep becomes a dominant part of the day can be a sign that the body is entering its final year. It's not laziness, it's not disinterest. It's the body saying, "I'm slowing down to save what little energy I have left." As we near the end of life, the body undergoes a shift in priorities. Organs begin working less efficiently. The heart conserves energy, circulation slows, muscles weaken, even the brain reduces its activity in non-essential areas. All of this contributes to a natural increase in sleep needs. It's not just physical rest, it's the body quietly preparing itself for release. Many elders describe feeling tired all the time or like their body is too heavy, and they're right. Every movement takes more effort than before. Their world becomes quieter, and so does their energy. Some signs of final year fatigue include sleeping 16 or more hours per day, difficulty staying awake during conversations or meals, lack of energy for even basic tasks, bathing, dressing, eating, longer naps even after a full night's sleep, speaking slowly or drifting off mid sentence, saying things like, I'm just so tired, I don't have the strength today, maybe tomorrow. It's easy to misread this as boredom or depression, and sometimes those can overlap. But often, this deep fatigue is the body's natural slowing, not a mental state. What you can do with grace, not guilt. 1. Allow rest without pressure. Avoid pushing them to get up or stay active. Instead, create a calm, cozy space for their rest to feel safe and undisturbed. 2. Shift focus to presence over productivity. Instead of asking, what do you want to do today? Try asking, would it feel good to just sit together for a while? 3. Provide gentle sensory support. Soft music, a warm blanket, dim lighting, familiar smells like lavender or fresh tea. Even when they're sleeping, these small comforts tell the body you are loved, you are safe. 4. Don't force food or activities. Honor their rhythm. If they wake for only a short time, make that moment meaningful, not rushed. 5. Speak with their care team. While increased sleep is often natural, check for reversible causes like infections, medication side effects, or dehydration. Watching someone sleep more and more can feel like watching them slip away before they're gone. It stirs grief, worry, and helplessness. But this stage, though quiet, is not empty. It's full of unseen transitions, sacred rest, and gentle goodbyes. If they sleep through your visit, stay anyway. If they don't speak, let your hands say the words. If they seem far, sit close. Because sometimes the soul does its most important work in silence. Let them rest, let them drift, let them feel held, even when they are no longer fully here. Sign number 3, social withdrawal and emotional detachment. There was a time they would light up when you walked through the door, ask questions, share stories, call you just to say hello. But now, something feels different. They speak less. They stop initiating phone calls. They say, I'm fine more often, but don't really look it. Sometimes they even say things like, you don't have to visit so often. I just need some space. I'm tired of all the noise. It may seem like moodiness or sadness or even rejection, but often it's something deeper, a gentle emotional detachment, a natural step in the journey toward letting go. As the body begins to slow down, so does the mind and the heart, not just physically, but socially and spiritually. Many elders in their final year lose interest in small talk or daily routines, stop attending family gatherings, church, or group events, say less during visits, prefer quiet solitude over conversation. This is not always depression. This can be a quiet preparation for departure. In fact, some palliative care experts describe this as a turning inward, where the soul begins focusing not on the outer world, but on the inner one. It's not about pushing people away, it's about making space to process, reflect, and slowly release. Signs of social withdrawal and emotional detachment. You may notice less eye contact or emotional expression, reduced interest in news, hobbies, or family stories, shorter conversations, fewer questions, avoiding visitors, even beloved ones, forgetting birthdays, holidays, or milestones, a sense of peaceful distance in their presence. They may also begin giving away personal items or speaking about old memories as if gently closing chapters. None of this means they've stopped loving you. It may mean they're starting to say goodbye, softly and in their own way. What you can do with presence, not pressure. 1. Accept their rhythm. If they don't want to talk, don't force it. Be present without expectation. Sometimes silence is the most comforting form of love. 2. Offer gentle companionship. Sit with them while they nap. Hold their hand. Read aloud if they like. Bring a photo album or soft music, things that evoke feeling, not effort. 3. Avoid overstimulating environments. Large gatherings, noise, or complex conversations may feel exhausting. Choose calm, familiar settings. Let visits be short but meaningful. 4. Don't take withdrawal personally. Their distance isn't about you, it's about their process. They may simply be protecting their limited energy. 5. Speak from the heart, not the clock. Even if the moments are few, make them real. Say, I love you. You don't have to say much. I'm just happy to sit beside you. You've been such a gift in my life. These words land even when they don't respond. It's hard watching someone you love retreat from the world. It can feel like losing them in pieces. But what may look like emotional distance may actually be emotional readiness. A soul closing doors gently, a heart making peace in stillness, a life that no longer needs to talk because it has already said enough. So don't chase their attention, offer your presence. Be the quiet comfort they no longer have words for. Sign number 4, cognitive decline or confusion that worsens rapidly. One day, they seem okay. They remember what day it is. They ask about your children. They follow a conversation just fine. And then something shifts. They start forgetting simple things, what season it is, whether they've eaten, where the bathroom is in their own home, sometimes even who you are. They may repeat the same question over and over, call you by the wrong name, get anxious when routines change, or become unusually quiet, as if their thoughts are stuck somewhere they can't quite explain. This isn't just aging, this may be the brain beginning to step back in a person's final year of life. Cognitive decline in the final stages of life can have many causes: reduced blood and oxygen flow to the brain, side effects from multiple medications, silent infections like UTIs or pneumonia, lack of sleep, food, hydration, the body's natural conservation of energy, including mental effort, can apply. Sometimes it's linked to known conditions like dementia. But even without dementia, many seniors experience a sudden drop in mental clarity when the body is preparing for transition. The mind becomes foggy, not because it's broken, but because it's preparing to rest. This change can feel disorienting for them and for you, but understanding what's happening can replace fear with tenderness. Signs to look for: confusing day and night, forgetting names of loved ones, asking the same question repeatedly, inability to follow a simple conversation, getting lost in familiar places, talking about people who aren't there, especially those who've passed away, using strange or broken sentences, sudden mood swings or agitation. They may also say things like, why are we here? I don't know what's happening. I just want to go home, even when they're already home. This doesn't mean they're losing their soul. It means the veil between this world and the next is starting to thin. What you can do with grace and gentle repetition. 1. Reassure often without correcting harshly. You're safe. I'm here with you. Everything is okay. Avoid phrases like, I just told you that. Don't you remember? Those may trigger shame or confusion. 2. Simplify the environment. Soft lighting, quiet spaces, minimal clutter, familiar photos or objects in view, simple routines, same faces. 3. Use clear, warm language. Speak slowly and calmly. Use names and direct cues. Hi, Dad, it's Sarah, your daughter. Let's sit by the window together. 4. Create safety in routine. Even if they don't recognize the schedule, their body remembers rhythm. Meals at the same time, resting at familiar hours, music or scents from earlier times. 5. Let go of logic. Meet them in emotion. If they think it's 1972, don't argue. If they talk to someone who's passed, don't dismiss. Instead, gently say, that sounds important to you. Tell me more. I'm listening. Sometimes confusion carries unspoken truths, love, longing, or final goodbyes in disguise. When the mind begins to dim, it's tempting to feel helpless or frustrated. But what they lose in facts, they still feel in spirit. They may forget your name, but not how you made them feel. They may confuse time, but still recognize love. They may lose their words, but your presence still speaks volumes. So stay close, speak softly, and remember, even if the mind is fading, the heart is still listening. Sign number 5, spiritual or existential shifts, talking about death peacefully. There's a moment when something changes, not in the body, not in the mind, but in the spirit. You hear it in the quiet things they begin to say. I think I'm ready. I've lived a good life. I keep dreaming of my mother. She's waiting for me. It's okay if I don't wake up tomorrow. And it may catch you off guard. There's no fear in their voice, no panic, no desperation, just a kind of acceptance. Soft, gentle, and deeply wise. This is one of the most powerful signs that a person may be in their final year. A quiet shift from surviving to surrendering, from holding on to letting go. As the physical body slows down, the emotional and spiritual self often begins to open up. Some elders begin reflecting on their entire life journey, making peace with past mistakes or regrets, expressing a need to forgive or be forgiven, asking questions about the afterlife or what comes next, sensing the presence of deceased loved ones, talking about going home even when they're already home. These aren't hallucinations. They are part of a natural existential process where the soul prepares for transition. In many cultures and spiritual traditions, this stage is considered sacred, the moment when a person's awareness begins reaching beyond this world. You may hear them say, "I've done what I needed to do. I'm not afraid anymore. I've seen the light in my dreams. Everyone keeps telling me to fight, but I feel like resting." They may also talk to people who've passed, give away personal belongings, write letters, share secrets, or say things they've held in for years, begin planning for their own funeral, legacy, or how they want to be remembered. This isn't a cry for help, it's a call for peace. And in these moments, what they need most is not answers, but someone who doesn't turn away. What you can do with reverence, not reassurance. One, don't change the subject. When they bring up death, don't say, "Don't talk like that. You're not going anywhere. Don't be silly." Instead, offer openness. Tell me more. How does that make you feel? I'm here. I want to hear you. Two, let them express without judgment. Tears, memories, confessions, let them come. You don't need to fix, just hold space. Three, ask what they need to feel complete. Is there someone they want to talk to again? A letter they want to leave behind? A story they never told? These moments often bring healing for them and for you. Four, honor their wishes. If they begin expressing preferences for the end, music, rituals, people, write them down. Respect them. This is their voice, their dignity. Five, stay close. Even in silence, sometimes your calm presence is all the reassurance they need. We often think the hardest part is when someone dies, but sometimes the deeper beauty and sorrow is in watching them prepare. When they start talking about death peacefully, it's not a sign of giving up. It's a sign of coming home to themselves. So don't rush them back into life. Sit with them in the stillness, honor their courage, and listen with your whole heart. Because in these sacred moments, what they're really saying is, "I'm not afraid. I'm just ready to go gently." You may not hear an alarm, you may not get a clear warning, but if you're paying attention, really paying attention, you'll feel it. A change in appetite, a slowing of speech, a quiet goodbye spoken without words, a softening of presence, like someone slowly turning toward the horizon. These signs aren't meant to scare you. They're meant to prepare you for presence, not panic. Because when the end of life draws near, what matters most is not how much you do, but how deeply you show up. A held hand, a shared silence, a whispered, "I'm here." You can't stop time, but you can honor it. And in doing so, you offer your loved one the most beautiful gift of all: to be seen, to be loved, and to be remembered with peace. If this video helped you recognize something real in someone you love, please consider giving it a like so others can find this message of quiet understanding. Subscribe to True Senior Wisdom for more heartfelt, honest guidance through aging, caregiving, and emotional healing. And in the comments, if it feels right, please share. What sign did you notice in your loved one? What helped you stay present in their final chapter? Because here we don't shy away from life's ending. We walk it softly together with grace, courage, and open hearts. You are not alone. They were not forgotten. And the love you gave still echoes, one breath, one touch, one beautiful goodbye at a time.